Lights, camera, quiz! Get ready to test your wits and knowledge in the ultimate battle of brains. Strap in and prepare for an adrenaline-fueled ride through a maze of trivia and challenges. Gather your friends, sharpen your pencils, and get ready to become the champion of the quiz game show universe. What might the floppier feet observed in some individuals indicate about human ancestry? A. Adaptation for climbing. B. Evolutionary advantage in running. C. Genetic mutation. D. Degenerative foot condition. And the correct answer is A.
Some people have floppier feet that might indicate our ancestry. A study of nearly 400 people showed that about 1 out of 13 had them like that. Primates use their feet like we use our hands. They climb trees with agility. So they need to have floppy feet to do it efficiently. But humans from 2 million years in the past also had less rigid feet. Scientists believe studying people with this rare bone structure may help understand how ancient humans walked, and also whether this floppiness actually helps in climbing too.
If you know your basic biology, you'll know this one. Which factor significantly influences our height, body shape, and skin color? A. Genetics. B. Diet. C. Environmental factors. D. Exercise habits. The correct answer is C.
Our height, the shape of our body, and skin color depend on where our ancestors used to live. But we can adapt to new conditions even within our own lifespan. For example, if you move from plains to the mountains, you'll eventually develop more red blood cells to compensate for the lack of oxygen. And naturally, if you move from a colder climate to a hotter and sunnier one, your skin will get pigmented to adapt.
How many smells are humans believed to be able to distinguish? A. 100. B. 1,000. C. 10,000. D. 1 trillion. Here's the deal, we're super smellers. The correct answer is D.
It's been believed for a long time that a person could distinguish more than 10,000 smells. Some research done not long ago showed that people were able to distinguish more than 1 trillion smells. We also remember them better than anything else, and smells can even evoke some distant memories. Like with Grandpa and the big baked bean party when you were a kid. We can accidentally digest small objects such as plastic items, glass, coins, and many other small objects. They'll make their way through the digestive tract within 48 hours. And there's even a man who managed to eat a whole airplane. Now, it took him years though, but little by little, he finished his metal meal with no trouble at all. I had a joke here about passing a landing gear, but yeah, I'll skip that one.
Men, don't get angry here, please. What allows some individuals, particularly women, to potentially perceive a broader range of colors? A. Extra cones in their eyes. B. Increased sensitivity to light. C. Greater visual acuity. D. Enhanced brain processing.
Most people have 3 types of cones in their eyes, allowing us to see millions of colors. Women typically see more shades, but sometimes they see so much more that they're literally unable to comprehend the difference. That's thanks to a 4th cone in their eyes that enhances their vision 100-fold. And what's more, the number of women born with this extra cone is about 12%. But only a few of them can actually use it because in most cases it remains inactive.
For this next one, you probably need to be old enough to remember what happened back then, but hey, let's give it a try. What genetic discovery from 1994 is associated with incredibly dense bones, making individuals nearly indestructible? A. LRP5 gene mutation. B. Osteoporosis. C. Vitamin D deficiency. D. bone density disorder. Did you say letter A?
Now, imagine falling from the roof of a 10-story building and getting away with a few bruises and scratches, but no broken bones whatsoever. Such a genetic anomaly was discovered back in 1994, and it is associated with the LRP5 gene. It makes a person's bones about 8 times denser than normal, which basically makes them almost indestructible. There's a whole extended family in Connecticut that has this mutation, and all 20 members of it have extraordinarily dense bones. Scientists who did research of the blood samples of this family say they have the strongest skeletons in the world.
Come on, activate your inner scientist to answer this next one. What condition results in individuals having eyes of 2 different colors, or just a part of one eye being differently colored? A. Heterochromia. B. Melanin deficiency. C. Partial heterochromia. D. Husky eye syndrome. The correct answer is A.
Heterochromia makes your eyes 2 different colors, say one hazel and the other blue. It has to do with the levels of melanin in your body, a pigment that affects the colors of your skin, hair, and, yes, your eyes. There's also partial heterochromia, which is only a part of one of your eyes is differently colored. It's not too common in humans, but I'll bet you've seen it in dogs, huskies in particular. This breed is naturally predisposed to this condition, and it looks super cool.
What unique quality does golden blood possess, making it potentially life-saving for millions? A. Lack of Rh blood cell antigens. B. Its golden color. C. Compatibility with all blood types. D. High concentration of hemoglobin. The correct answer is A.
The rarest genetic condition there probably is, called the golden blood, can be a lifesaver for millions of people. There are just 40 known carriers of this blood type in the world. They don't have any Rh blood cell antigens, which means anyone can accept their blood, even those with extremely rare blood types. And although their blood isn't golden in color, it's certainly worth more than just gold.
What's the estimated percentage of people who can solve a Rubik's Cube without any help? A. Around 10%, give or take a few. B. Roughly 20%. C. Just about 6%. D. Maybe 2% if we're being generous. I know you wanted to be one of them. The correct answer is C.
According to estimations, only about 6% of the world's population can solve the Rubik's Cube. Despite it being just a skill like any other, most of us have to learn it, either by watching tutorials on the web or asking someone for help. And only a small percentage of people can actually solve it on their own. If you're one of them, you're a truly rare individual.
Which muscle-controlling skill makes you truly one of a kind? A. Being able to raise both eyebrows in surprise. B. Raising either eyebrow to express skepticism. C. Wiggling your ears independently. D. Curling your tongue into a taco shape. It's letter B, folks.
Raising just one to express skepticism isn't rare either, but it depends on which eyebrow you usually raise. If you can do this trick with either eyebrow, you're actually unique. Since your eyebrows are controlled by muscles, you can train yourself to raise either of them at will, but it often takes time and conscious effort.
Let's move on to some general knowledge. Are you ready? What is the world's largest desert by area? A. Sahara Desert. B. Gobi Desert. C. Antarctic Polar Desert. D. Kalahari Desert. Did you say C? I know it sounds weird, but check this out.
When someone mentions the biggest desert, You probably picture the endless sandy surface of the Sahara, burning under the hot sun. Well, not quite. The biggest desert is the Antarctic Polar Desert, which covers about 5.5 million square miles in Antarctica. Sounds strange at first, but the definition says that a desert is a place that gets less than 10 inches of precipitation annually. Still, it doesn't say if it has to be hot.
Moving on to the next question. Where are black diamond apples typically found? A. Tibet. B. Hawaii. C. Brazil. D. New Zealand. I know what you're thinking. What? Is there such a thing as a black apple? And I tell you, yes. And the correct answer would be A.
In Tibet, there are black diamond apples that aren't green or red, but dark purple. The place where they grow has plenty of ultraviolet light over the day, while the temperatures drastically go down during the night, which makes the apple's skin get a darker color.
This one will make you think a bit longer. Approximately how many people have lived on Earth throughout its history? A. 10 million. B. 1 billion. C. 108 billion. D. 500 trillion. The correct answer is letter C. There's not much to say here except for, wow! Let's see if you're really good at this game. How much would it cost in today's money to produce a NASA spacesuit similar to those built in the 1970s? A. $1.5 million. B. $15 million. C. $150 million. D. $1.5 billion. I know what you're thinking. What a weird question. Let me explain.
A full current NASA spacesuit cost between $15 and $22 million in 1974, but NASA hasn't actually built any new suits since '74, leading to them only having 4 working suits left. If they are to create another suit, in today's money, that would translate to a cost of $150 million.
Who owns the largest diamond cuts in the world? A. France. B. England. C. Netherlands. D. Australia. You bet it's England.
Speaking of England, the crown jewels contain 2 of the largest cut diamonds of all time. The Cullinan diamond is the largest diamond ever found and is part of the sovereign scepter with cross. The second gem is the aptly named Cullinan II, which is mounted in the impressive imperial state crown. The real giants among diamonds, though, could be raining down on Jupiter and Saturn as you watch this video. That's because lightning storms turn methane into carbon, which gradually hardens as it falls and turns into diamonds.
Who came first? A. Trees. B. Sharks. C. Butterflies. D. Ants.
Common sense would suggest that trees have been around before most animals, as they produce oxygen for us to breathe. If you were to tell this to a shark, it would laugh, as the sea creatures were actually around long before trees. Sharks date back around 400 million years, with trees coming in at about 50 million years later.
So the correct answer is B. Where can the original London Bridge be found today? A. London, England. B. Paris, France. C. Lake Havasu City, Arizona, USA. D. Sydney, Australia. Did you say letter C?
If you're heading to London to see the famous London Bridge, think again, as the original bridge is now in Arizona. By the 1960s, London Bridge was falling down, so the city decided to sell it to an American oil tycoon, Robert P. McCullough. It was shipped over to the US and can now be found in Lake Havasu City.
What happens to astronauts' height when they return to Earth from space? A. They shrink. B. They stay the same height. C. They become taller. D. They develop back pain. It's letter C, y'all.
When astronauts come back to Earth from space, they're usually a couple of inches taller than they were before leaving our planet. Your body acts in an unusual way when you free it from gravity. Without your entire weight that compresses the cartilage in your spine and joints, your body gets a bit longer in zero-gravity conditions. But this doesn't last forever. The effect goes away after some time. A similar thing happens on Earth, too. When you lie down for a good night's sleep, you get a bit taller, no more than 0.4 inches, but still. That's why you're taller in the morning than you are at the end of the day.
If you're a surfer or a diver, you'll certainly have noticed this pattern before. Now, let's make it clear once and for all. Why does it feel colder in water than in air of the same temperature? What's your best guess? A. Because water holds heat better than air. B. Because water conducts heat faster than air. C. Because water is denser than air. D. Because water absorbs heat from the body more quickly than air. The correct answer is letter D.
When you're in cold water, it feels much worse than when you're exposed to air of the same temperature. All because it takes more energy to raise the temperature of water than air. So, the layer of water that surrounds your body heats up pretty slowly, and the temperature difference between your body and the water remains pretty big. That's why the rate of heat loss stays high. Neoprene wetsuits divers wear can keep you relatively warm when you're in the water. Their pores are fine enough to hold the water surrounding you relatively still.
I know you know the answer to this one. What purpose do tree rings serve beyond indicating a tree's age? A. Providing information about the tree's health. B. Revealing the tree's species. C. Indicating the tree's location. D. Reflecting the weather conditions during its growth. The correct answer here is D.
Tree rings can tell you how old a tree is. But these rings also get wider during wet periods, which is how they can inform you about the weather conditions in a given year. When the rings are thicker, it means the year was mostly raining, and when they're thin, you know the period was dry.